Here is the very simple premise of this video. As Kairos Fateweaver, we spawn at the very bottom of the world. That's cringe, so what we're gonna do is pack our shit and head north. Now in doing that, we're gonna hold on to every piece of territory we conquer on the way, effectively splitting the world into two and creating the titular line. Now here's step 1. Before we begin our long march, we need to take our starting quote-unquote island, which is home to a bunch of contemptible demon spawn as well as some lizards. That won't do. I tried making it do in a previous run by just ignoring them and became very sorry that I did, so everybody's gotta go. Step 1 is to destroy the Nurgle faction. This is so easy, it's not even worth talking about. This war is basically B-roll material and that's it. With our foothold secured, we move towards liberating our home island for real. To our east is Tzeentch, who is our most pressing threat for now. I kinda just sit at our border shaking my fist at him, and to my surprise he takes the bait. I wish I could say that the ensuing battle was a masterclass in battle strategy, but to be honest I lost track of what the fuck was going on and the fight devolved into this. I took a Pyrrhic victory for my troubles. Unfortunately, I didn't wipe his army and he retreated back to his castle, which I didn't have the manpower yet to take, so it's back to the drawing board. He attacked me again, so I cheesed him in auto-resolve just so I could get rid of his army and get this show on the road. Unfortunately, I still have to take the settlement and no cheesing the auto-resolve this time because it thinks I'll lose. On what was my very first try, hashtag I promise, I used the terrain to set up a kill corridor, funneling the enemy into my ranged units which promptly melted the enemy lord. I wish I could say the rest of the battle was that easy, because they closed the distance and I think my ranged units started killing more of my front line than theirs. Without their lord though, they began to break, which was good because by the battle's end, like 7 of my guys were still standing. After all that, the settlement was finally ours. They offered us a peace treaty in return for them becoming a vassal, but I'm greedy so I told them to kick rocks. I run across some beastmen, which I auto-resolve. Unfortunately, it makes me too weak to fight Tzeentch again, which is particularly regrettable because now I have lizardmen breathing down my neck, although a lucky auto-resolve buys me some time. Unfortunately, our western territory gets sieged again and we have to manually fight it with poor odds to break out. After a couple tries, we kill corridor our way to victory, but just barely. Our victory buys us some time, but we can't take on another onslaught. We take another Tzeentch settlement to try and end this front as fast as possible. With that, we unlock some of the most broken spells in the game and basically our ticket to victory. The Purple Son of Xeris, I'm not even kidding, we've won the game with this. Especially if you combine it with another spell we'll get soon. Looking at our western front and things are pretty bad. But our eastern front is about to get wrapped up with one last battle. Okay, you guys are taking some casualties. Okay, whoa, we are winning this actually. We're winning this? Hello? Put that there. Magic, lies, destiny. Rip. Oh, nice. Let's fucking go. We take the last Tzeentch settlement and the faction is finally destroyed. The next step in our little political project is to haul ass west and take out the lizards. By turn 37, we fight what I consider to be our first real battle against them. Now remember our little black hole magic spell we learned earlier on? We test that bad boy out here and realize how broken it actually is. The trick is to send in a division of furies as a sacrificial distraction, and while everyone's busy jumping on them, then you let loose the spell. Look at that. Oh my god. Just nuked. Just nuked. Jesus. Very well. I feel a lot better about my chances now. I can redo it. I can reuse that. That's crazy. That's crazy. Look at it. They're running. They want nothing to do with me now. Oh, come on, but let's get... Oh. Unbelievable. let's look. The 201 5k gold. That is crazy. And all it needs is like an intercontinental ballistic missile. A sacrificial chaos fury. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, ho, ho, ho. With that victory, my morale is sky high. I was on the ropes on the Western Front for ages, and now that I realize I have a win everything button, you better believe I'm making these fuckers extinct. What's even better is that the game gives me a second win everything button with the Infernal Gateway spell, but that's for later on. I am now going to destroy this army. Never mind, he tried to run away. I can catch him though. Pal, you picked the wrong neighborhood. We pull the same stunt as last time and head on our merry way. Meanwhile, some pirates take refuge in one of our settlements. We can't afford to get rid of them, but as it turns out, every so often, said pirates throw us some cash, making them hella welcome. Okay, yo, what is this? Bellicor can come here? Fucking Bellicor? And cannot be closed. Oh, brother. So basically, I've got to kill Bellicor. Dude, I'm gonna have to keep an army here like constantly, because so he can enter this, but I can't. That's unbelievable. Okay, so several real life hours later, and it's turn 90, where we're wrapping up the lizardmen menace. But our exploits has attracted unwanted attention in the way of orcs trying to rob us. We'll be heading his way anyways, so his declaration of war isn't too concerning despite it being strength rank 3. Okay. Oh man, this is gonna be a way bigger job to do than what I previously anticipated. Okay, it's actually a lot of territory. Now that I'm looking at it. Now our lizardmen arc ends with a final battle against the commander known as Oxyotl, where we spam out overpowered spells and call it a job well done. With their army decimated, they run away and we pull out another victory. We decided to use a little Tzeentchian magic and reveal Shroud the Orcs to see what kind of enemy I'm dealing with. That is quite the force. Taking the lizardmen's last settlement destroys the faction, and the first leg of our grand plan is complete. I haul ass back east because I've got an imminent orc invasion, but get set upon on my travels. Now I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous about this one, since the fight is effectively a 1v2, but the same old tactic we used before is just as effective with orcs as it was with lizardmen. With the first wave dealt with, the backup coming over the hill in the distance was relatively easy pickings. We pull off a heroic victory and hunt down the stragglers. However, on the horizon we see more hungry orcs which will require our attention eventually. And by eventually, I mean right now. I didn't think you could actually get me. I could retreat, but I think we might be able to take him. I'm gonna save it though, because I'm not sure. I can't believe I didn't record that. That is unreal. We won again, though, for what it's worth. Heroic victory, let's go. That is a positive result.
We have foreseen.
I was afraid that might happen. Alright fellas, I know you've been in like 3 wars in the past fucking 24 hours. But we're gonna need you to do it again. Just give me one more day. I'm not asking for a week. I'm not asking for a month. Just give me one more day. That's all I need from you guys. My gargoyles are looking a little worse for wear. I used to have 4 of them. Okay. Fateweaver, you're my star player. Here's what I need you to do. Okay, nice. We could be cooked. We need to get rid of this guy now. Okay, nice. Oh, be nice if you could, like, a little bit more damage. Honestly, wouldn't hurt. Oh, nice. They ran straight into it. Let's go. Okay, to be fair, we've learned something. The second army are a bunch of cowards that would, like, run immediately. Like, all this is just theater, really. But they did get nuked twice, so, you know. With their scariest invasion force basically broken, our path north is simplified greatly. We still have some cleaning up to do, but it's nothing we can't handle. Now that I've made the D-Day landing successfully, I'm officially on the mainland, and my very presence has already made this place nigh uninhabitable for everybody else. We just have technically about 4 orc armies in our way before we can annex the region. They want a non-aggression pact. He saw me fight literally dozens of fucking armies of dwarf or orcs, and was like, "Get this man a non-aggression pact immediately." I just saw him land on the fucking coast, slay literally thousands of orcs, sent them running, and God knows what the hell he's gonna do next. Get this man to sign a pact. They're obviously broke as fuck. They're only paying me $200. Brother, I'm sorry. That's not how it's gonna go down. Around this time, by the way, one of my heralds of Tzeentch gets upgraded to an exalted lord of Tzeentch, which makes them better, I think. Hey, by the way, you see these orcs? Yeah, neither do I. Oh, what's this? That's funny. That I might take it and force war. Just absolutely screw him out of gold. I'm gonna screw this guy so bad out of his gold. It's hilarious. I just smashed his entire southern army and he begged for peace.
The well of eternity.
Look, that's funny. He's like, please don't destroy us. I'll give you $200 for a peace treaty. Please, God, don't destroy us. Sorry, pal.
Destiny.
Now we're going strong, but we still do have a cluster of orcs in our way. So using some chaos magic that enables attrition for their army, I drop that bitch in there and watch them skedaddle. Though to be fair, it looks as though they're merely repositioning towards my armies on the other side of the mountain pass. I'm not one to back down, so I meet them head on. By this point, I've learned a cheeky trick where I cast a spell that freezes an enemy unit in place before casting all-consuming eye above their head. This has a noticeable effect on the morale of the other units, who run away and huddle together in fear, which falls victim to my next attack, which is dropping a black hole on their heads. I can't stress how effective this tactic was and how much I abused it. It really isn't long before basically the entire greenskin territory is mine. There are also some Tomb Kings which I have a cool battle with, but I can't really fit that into the script seamlessly, so here you go, I'm bringing it up now. Now, technically speaking, there's a corn faction in our way, but we're going to put a rain check on that because the perfidious Goldtooth and Cathay cronies have somehow made it to my neck of the woods. That's a nuisance, and what we like to call in the industry, a fucking no-no. We launch a surprise attack on some of their settlements and sign a pact of non-aggression with old Scarbrand, who tells me murder and deception serves the same cause. I couldn't agree more. Our first battle against Goldtooth showcases a pretty big hole in our army composition, but more on that later. Immediately afterwards, we find ourselves in a face-to-face with elves, and the auto-resolve thinks we're in for a valiant defeat, which is never a good sign. As it turns out, the auto-resolve was right on the money, because I tried to fight for like 30 straight minutes, and the best I could do was eke out a valiant defeat, with both armies a lot worse for wear, but both of my lords dead, including Kairos fateweaver, which is really bad. Okay. Who are you people? What am I... It's been like 4 months since I played this. Not 4 months, sorry, like 2 months. Whatever.
Battle brings change!
After a bit of a hiatus from playing, I return to the front and gather my surroundings. The long and short of it is we face a coalition of elves, ogres, and cathayans on each side of the mountain pass. This is gonna be our battle theater for the foreseeable future, because we got a big war of attrition ahead of us. Okay, so far, we have all of this. We have all of this. We're creating a new army here, which is mainly, I think, for, like, pikemen. I forget what the name of them. Halberds. And those are intended to be anti-ogre, effectively. Okay. Like, almost anything could happen right now. Everything is kind of up in the air. But here's our overall objective. We're gonna leave Scarbrand for now. We're gonna go on a warpath. Like, from here all the way in. We don't need all of his territory. We just need, like, we're just making the line. So, like, we're following the mountain pass, basically. Which is its own problems. Maybe we'll go to the river. What if I just said, fuck you, and just... Decisive victory. Okay, easy. Okay, as you can see, we're in a pretty precarious position with like 6 enemy armies in one region, and that's only counting one side. We're set upon by 3 ogre armies against R2, though somehow the auto-resolve considers this to be a Pyrrhic victory. This was surprising to me during editing when watching back over the footage, but I was downright baffled by the decision to retreat. However, we found ourselves in another confrontation, only this one was easier. And despite a close victory auto-resolve, I decided to fight it manually. After some aura farming, we began the battle proper. It's actually, to be fair, like, that's actually kind of a scary force they've got. Okay. Like, somewhat troubled here, but, you know, hey. You win some, you lose some. Hakuna Matata, as they say. Now what do I do with you? And then we bring you over here, I guess.
Men of the
Ooh, that's not good though. I don't know where the fuck he's getting that from. Negative 30 armor. That's pretty good. We love that, folks, don't we? We love that, don't we, folks? Oh, yo, you guys did a wonderful job. As it turns out. He's running away. Okay. I mean, I wasn't really paying attention much here. It looks like we kind of just fucked them up, like, pretty easily. And we didn't even need to do anything. Which is always fun, I guess. That, you know, that was fairly spectacular, all things considered. We didn't lose our form. We may have even won it against another arm. Actually, we may not have. Let's not get too big for my boots. Let's not get too big for my boots. The shield does do an awful lot, though, for... Wow. Okay. Congratulations, we did it, Joe. A Pyrrhic victory! In what world? How? Okay, let's get a rundown here. An exalted flamer of Tzeentch. Yeah, that kind of hurts to lose, to be fair. I mean, we met out like bandits in a lot of ways. Now that's what I'm afraid of. Okay, he can't hit shit though, so that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm kind of lost in the sauce here. I have to admit. Okay, so here's the situation as it stands. By turn 167-ish, the desert side of the mountain pass has stabilized for now, but the jungle side, or the right side, is rather tense, and it's only going to get worse. Mind you, the desert side isn't peaceful for long either, because we've got a Cathayan 5 stack heading down the mountain real fast. We're doing everything we can to shore up our defenses on the jungle front, and as you can see, our economy is already beginning to strain. They'll come apart in the campaign where we'll ever see a green number again. Now look, if I were to show every battle of the next 100 or so turns, it would take all week, so I'm just going to summarize using clips and some intermittent voiceover. A valiant defeat, you say? I don't think so. Damn. Am I crazy to say, like, I'm kind of on the back foot here? You fucking cheeky. There's no way. Are you gonna try that? These guys are kind of a problem, but, you know, we'll deal with everybody else. Okay, these things fucking gotta go.
Warriors of Tzeentch!
Come on, fucking just kill her.
Kairos light!
Okay. I can't really hit him, and he can't really get me. It's a kind of a fucked situation, honestly. I'm a man's man, proper boy's boy. I'm such a bloke, I changed my pronouns to oi oi. He's not even in the fight, dude. Okay, well. Come into the forest, my friend. There is nothing in here.
Curse them!
Oh, fucking bitch, he killed me. Oh, son of a bitch. Like, not bad though. To be fair, not bad. Fuck's sake. Plus defeat. Oh no, they stole the fucking thing, you son of a bitch.
Strike! Burn their souls!
They've got an awful lot of armies. Yeah, I would say get the fuck out of there.
Master retreat!
I see a potential problem here. Oh. Wonderful. I'm gonna halt this army. And I guess come what may over here. And here. Fuck, looks like this one's looks like we're going down. Okay. Let's just speak plainly here. We're kind of cooked. It's okay to admit it. We're in some... Oh. Oh. Now that's tempting. Okay. Oh. Like we actually are kind of cooked. And listen, I hate to admit it as much as anybody. Okay. I hate to admit it as much as anybody, but we are pretty fucking we might be Scoobied here a little bit. Okay, we're gonna kill this guy. Decisive victory won. I'm going to borrow time. He's just gonna run away. I mean, let's call a spade here. That's a Pyrrhic victory. Okay, well, I would hate to lose that settlement. Oh, you son of a bitch. Or is the settlement besieged? You're insane if you think I'm taking that line down. What can you guys do? Oh wow. Quite a lot it seems.
My will
What do
does
you
not
have?
bend.
You have a decent army, to be fair. It's mostly infantry though, which is extremely handleable. It's the flying shit that's annoying, and the artillery. Huh. Again, we're still stuck here.
Tzeentch decrees death. Burn bodies and rise. Warriors of Tzeentch. Succumb to the shine side. Deceit is strength. Embrace the chain of the lizardmen. Of fireballs are wings. Warriors of Tzeentch.
Behold my iridescence!
Lords of destruction. This battle is a boon. This war is
Okay, great. We've closed the loop here. The plan is we're gonna use this guy and sail up all along the coast and hopefully make our way somewhere here and just ravage the place. I don't know where we'll stop exactly. They kind of have the place fairly well covered. But I mean, he's a throwaway army anyways. Like he's designed to die. Oh yeah. Okay, so I've shimmied our finances around a little bit. And I think I've maximized my profits. What did I do about this? We might be able to fight this. We're gonna need to be real careful though.
Warriors of Tzeentch! Warriors of Tzeentch! Kairos lights the way!
Okay, so by this point, you might now get the picture of what kind of slog this was. So we're going back to narration. We won a huge victory against the ogres in Karagord, our main bastion on the desert front, which the Other Resolve thought was going to be a valiant defeat. But enough spells, ranged units, and a literal wall of pikemen was enough to smash them to pieces. This leads me to an important point actually, because I had been recruiting armies more or less off of a vibes-based system, meaning that if a unit took more than one turn to recruit, I assumed it was simply an auto-pick if you had the time. My intention was to tailor them towards a high auto-resolve victory rate. But I don't know how the auto-resolve system works and was finding myself having to manually do fights with suboptimal army compositions, meaning a bunch of random shit I've cobbled together. So allow me to let you in on a little secret. Variation is for fools. Real winners take an 18 stack of halberds combined with 1 or 2 furies. Though I'll also make an exception for flamers of Tzeentch. More to the point, this army composition is simple, mass manufacturable, and is so versatile that it's basically all I'll use towards the latter of the campaign, especially when we come into contact with the dwarves. Anyways, we pull off another pretty clutch victory against Cathay in the same region, whose 6 sky junks apparently out-auto-resolved my 2 armies. Despite our successes, the jungle front was still crawling with Cathay, and suffered pretty regular naval invasions from them and the Golden Order. But our efforts culminated in us fighting a siege battle in the region's northern capital, Lamia. With that taken, our path towards the next mountain range, which is Elven territory, is clear. Okay, now, where did I... Ah, yes. Now we just need to get rid of this, which is, you know, easier said than done, honestly. Now this battle with Cathay is special because it's against Zhao Ming, the big boss of the western provinces. Now I could regale you the tale of this epic clash for the ages, but the most accurate description is a smorgasbord of violence, with somehow everyone dead but the guy I was actually trying to kill. Regardless, the thrashing was so complete that Cathay offers me a peace treaty, which I accept because I got so damn sick of fighting them. We get our first taste of progress in like 30 turns by pushing up into Elven territory, while also making a pirate's voyage around the mountains altogether in order to cause some mayhem. We do see 3 ogre armies barreling towards us on the desert front, but thankfully we absolutely slapped 2 of them with the mighty Halberd Doomstack. At this point we have a rematch with Imric the elf, whose army is like half dragons, and they fucked my shit up crazy style. I knew things were going to be bad when I used magic to freeze Imric in place right in front of my ranged units, and I was real smug at that trick until I saw how little damage it did and thought, oh, I'm in deep trouble here. We lose the battle, but we can't really afford to lose the battle, so I press rematch. The problem was, I pause the recording whenever there's a loading screen, and I forgot to unpause it, basically until the end of the rematch where we win. So I'm afraid you're robbed of a match just filled with carnage that we barely scrape by on. For what it's worth, I still remember it even now, by the way, just purely because there was so many fucking dragons everywhere. Our victory is short-lived though, because we get jumped immediately after by more elves, who just crush us. We do land a bit of a D-Day landing at Bitter Bay. Unfortunately, all of this is basically for nothing because we get pushed back to Lamia, and our D-Day forces have to escape a tide of enemies. In the 2010s, we almost lose everything. Okay, so here's what's happening. I have an army here. I have one growing here. I have another one here. And his job is to just take shit back. I have 2 here to put pressure on these 2. I have one fellow here whose job it is to cut this guy off. And over here is where we're in deep, deep trouble, potentially speaking. Okay, I call this the hedgehog.
Such sees all. Endless glory.
We have another slog match with Imric. We lose Lamia again. Goldtooth wants peace, but his territory is in the way of our line project, so we tell him to get lost. We have a run-in with Balthazar Gelt, who is wholly unprepared for the realities of war here on the Eastern Front, and is rightfully routed. We take back all the territory we lost, including Lamia, and are set for an offensive north. We roar northwards on the Ogre Desert front, while doing the same on the Elven front, unclogging the mountain pass that Imric is in, again, where we just press auto-resolve, cause fuck 'em. The following 20 turns consists of big pushes, but it's also where we're going to find the bane of the rest of the campaign, the dwarves. Meanwhile, we make another diversionary attack via the sea, but this time on Kugat's spawn island, which I forget the name of. We raid the place and get out of there. We re-establish a colony at Bitter Bay, and use it to take the fortress of Vorag, which I came to affectionately know as the Pikeman Factory, which by the time we get to it is the elves' last settlement, and the faction is finally destroyed. That region, by the way, the Plain of Bones, is just absolutely goated, because look at this recruitment. Chef's kiss. Anyways, remember when I said that the dwarves were going to be the bane of this run's existence? Well, this is what the map looks like by turn 236. The slog of the next, 100 turns is almost worse than the previous, so I'm really going to summarize here. Without much of a surprise, we start drowning in dwarves. But we also have a bomb strapped to our leg, and that bomb is our military upkeep, which by now fluctuates between 20 to 30,000 in debt per turn. And should we ever find ourselves with no money to pay it, we're screwed. Fortunately, it's the uber late game and all the superpowers have built up their settlements to max. Meaning, I don't need to intelligently maintain an economy or limit my military expenditures. I just need to send an army into the enemy's back line to just sack everything. This is not a job with a high life expectancy, but it's very useful because not only does it disrupt the enemy's logistics a bit, it also is basically the only way we're going to be making money from here on out. What's even funnier is that because this was generally done in the mountains against Goldtooth and dwarves, if it ever got too hot, I could teleport, which was so huge when I discovered it.
Eternal Sclaya.
I can't get past you. But what if I could?
To change.
Oh, that's kind of unbelievable.
Follow me.
Get shreked,
Our
dude.
magics.
There was also another point where I used those cultist things to teleport into the far north to wreak havoc there. At the same time, I was running through Goldtooth's territory, sacking his settlements. How is your man getting on over here, I wonder? Oh man, that's a lot of Chinese. Okay. So here's where we are now. We lost this, unfortunately, but you know, what can you do? We lost all this as well, but like, we looted everything. Looted all we could. I looted all this though, basically, too. Like, there's nothing left worth taking.
Master, here!
Okay, we've managed to reconnect the main line. Imagine that. Now, here's the trade-off. If I come up and hit all this, I'm over here then, and this is, you know, wide open road. Although I do inspire the ire of these guys. However, if I come down, I can attack all this, which is Team Blue. Also, by this point, Lamia, our crown jewel, gets a rebellion, but I'm almost 300 turns in and I'm so jaded that I don't even care. I think I give them another settlement too, just so I can get peace from them and not have to worry about them running amok, since I was already kind of having dwarf problems in the region. Anyways, it's turn 293 and we're deep in dwarven territory doing our usual looting and pillaging. Also worth mentioning, I almost never got a positive auto-resolve result fighting the dwarves, and I don't know why. But it meant I had to fight nearly every fucking battle manually, which meant I got pretty good at fighting dwarves. A faction I didn't really have a lot of experience against prior. I'm gonna break down the formula here, cause there are tactics I learnt the hard way. And for that, I'm going to show you some typical battles so you know what I'm talking about. Now notice, my army is a legion of pikemen more or less with 2 furies. Those furies do 2 things, because notice on their side, a helicopter, which I came to know as a whirlybird. You're going to need at least 1 flying unit for this thing, and all you're going to do is set and forget, because that helicopter will not stand and fight, and the furies will never catch it, so they're going to spend the rest of the battle just flying around the arena, and that's it. There's a second major use for the Furies though, and it's for these things. But more so this, the flamethrowers. Believe you me, these are a headache. But I discovered that they get hard countered by Furies. I mean, torn apart by them, it's glorious. Bonus info, if the dwarves don't bring whirlybirds, they're almost definitely gonna bring blimps. Which is why you're always gonna want at least 1 screamer of Tzeentch, cause they hard counter blimps. I was never sorry that I had screamers in my army, I can tell you that. By the way, those blimps can like blow up on your troops, so be mindful where you take them down. Beyond that, cheesy spells are obviously useful. There are one of their frontline units which are notable. See these guys with the double axes? Yeah, turns out your lord can fuck these guys up pretty bad, which I didn't realize until ages. By the way, if you see this thing, whatever it is, you try and take him down as quickly as possible. This guy has like 150 armor or something stupid, and he's gonna melt kairos if you leave him alone. Now fortunately, he is kind of a coward, so he'll run if you send pikemen after him, or at least he did when I did, so you know. Ultimately though, dwarves are tough as hell, and they will consistently fight to the last man, which makes every single battle a slog. Okay, we're almost done. We just have 1 settlement to go, and that's this one. We're so close. What the hell is this thing? Floating mountain. Okay. We're so close. All we need is 1 last settlement, and then we're done. It's the last one.
Dice are
loot and occupy. We have made it. Behold, the Great Line. Oh, that took fucking ages. Oh my god. The Great Blue Line has been achieved. I have split the world into two. The ogres and Cathay are on the right side and the left side, actually. Cathay is over here too. Everything else, if everyone wants to go over to Cathay, they gotta go over my bullshit. Hell yeah, look at all this blue Tzeentchian nonsense. Ain't that something? Oh, son of a bitch.